Hi, this is Minister Hill. Welcome to this segment, the Red Pill segment. I'm with Marty. He is the National Director of
Gateways to Better Education.
These guys are on our feed. Okay, this is one of the resources. I've been dealing with these guys for kind of a couple of years here, and they know what they're talking about. You ministers, you probably need to take notes and maybe go to the webpage and check this out. Okay, now most recently, there was a case that came up with the Supreme Court, and it involved the LGBT student and a teacher who was supposedly protecting that child, but it interrupted with the parents' rights. Now, that's not what this is about. However, what if you're a Christian? What if you're a Christian teacher? What if you're faced with the LGBT issue on what to call a person? What is your rights? What if you're a student? What if you're a teacher who has a Bible at school? What about prayer in school? Well, here to answer some of those questions is Marty. And we are at a seminar here at the beautiful campus of Biola University. Okay? And he's going to answer a few of the questions. Please, first, tell us what your organization is and what does it do?
Well, thank you, Vincent. I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you about these important issues. Gateways to Better Education has been around for 34 years with the vision and the mission of helping public school teachers who are Christians navigate their faith legally and appropriately, and more important, competently, to understand what the federal guidance is on constitutionally protected prayer and religious expression. There is an enormous amount of confusion and indeed fear that exists on public school campuses across this country. And it's really sad that teachers operate in that mode when there's all kinds of information and guidance that allows them to operate appropriately and confidently. So that's what we do. We provide seminars, we provide all kinds of training, resources for Christian teachers and for teachers in general, in a variety of ways, and through two primary vehicles. One vehicle is called the Respect Project, where we work directly with schools, and we provide a 30-minute training module to school districts to help educate their teachers on how to operate legally and appropriately. And that's what we call the non-sectarian approach, because we have to do it that way. We're going directly with the school. The other approach is the student-led Free to Speak campaign. And that's where we work with on-campus ministries like Young Life, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Child Evangelism Fellowship, and churches that have youth groups that are on campus. And we provide them with some tools, information that equips students to take that information into the campus.
Wow.
And the ultimate goal is to create faith-welcoming environments. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it would.
Wouldn't that be effective if students feel like they have the freedom to talk about their faith in their schoolwork and homework? And wouldn't it be effective if teachers would actually intentionally invite students to talk about their faith in their schoolwork and homework when it's germane to the topic?
Exactly.
And that's our goal. Faith-welcoming environments.
You know, a lot of historical fact is in the Bible, and a lot of the Bible bleeds into historical fact,
right?
Especially like the founding of the country and things like that. Now, as a student and as a teacher,
right?
Okay, what are my rights as far as so I won't be branded as apostolizing kids, or because I know a lot of teachers fall into that, and a lot of teachers keep their mouth quiet because they're scared that they're going to lose their job or get sued by the state or by the federal government, basically by the state.
Yeah. Because
of the state we're in, Killer California, with Smavum Loosum as our, I didn't want to say his name. So Smavum Loosum. You know, everybody knows who that is, who has a podcast who we don't really trust. But anyway, I'm just saying, I digress. What can a person do as far as that?
Well, that's a great question. And that's why we're actually here today. At Biola University, we're offering a 3.5-hour seminar that was developed by our president, Eric Buer, several years ago.
Just met him downstairs.
Yeah, we do these seminars both live and online. So the seminar is available online, and it's entitled "Faith, Freedom in the Public Schools," and is a 8-part seminar series. The first 4 parts is on the legal aspect, the legal guidance,
Right.
and the other 4 segments of the training is the practical aspects, how to do it practically. And it is a deep dive into understanding what teachers' rights are, and it's plainly described in the U.S. Department of Education's guidance that's issued by the federal agency. That's the U.S. Department of Education. I think we're all aware that that agency is now on hospice. It may not be around much longer. Nevertheless, those principles that they put forth in that guidance, those all apply because that's First Amendment rights.
Right.
And so what we've done is we've extracted a lot. I mean, the volume of that document is huge. I mean, it's a pretty deep dive into all those rights, but we've extracted some of the more practical tools and rules and guidelines, and that's what's being covered today. But we've also put that in that 30-minute training module that we offer to school districts. That just talk about teachers can, on their off time, maybe at lunchtime, for example, they can engage in a Bible study on campus. Because if teachers are afforded the opportunity to do their personal desires during lunchtime, they can read a book, or they can hang out with friends. Any number of things they can do. Well, that they can also have a Bible study. They can't be told that they can't have a Bible study on campus.
Okay.
If they're allowed to do other things in their free time. They can't actually approach a student and ask to pray with the student. But if a student asks them to pray, their legal rights are they can pray because it's student initiated. There's all kinds of guidelines like that afford teachers a lot of freedom. You know, that teachers can't teach a Bible study in school like a church, but they can teach about religion when it's germane to the history or social studies or civics lesson, maybe U.S. history, going back to the early settlements, and the founding fathers brought the Bible into informing the Constitution. They can talk about that. And in fact, here in California, the state standards that have been adopted for the state of California, specifically in, for example, the 6th grade social studies curriculum, say this, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, understand the messianic prophecies of Jesus Christ according to the gospel as presented by St. Paul the Apostle, and to talk about salvation, the Trinity, and Jesus as being the Savior of the world. I mean, there's a paragraph in the state standards of California.
Wow.
That teachers are expected to teach this. And that's what we're going to talk about today here, is that teachers aren't aware of that.
I wasn't aware of it.
No, it's there. It's there in the 7th grade curriculum. We do that study, we do that research rather, for all 50 states, including California, where we pull out where the Bible and Christianity intersect curriculum. And there's a lot that's there that teachers have the freedom to teach, and they just don't know about it.
Wow. There you go. Okay, well, this has been a short, I'm telling you right now, this has been a mini interview. When it's time, when we have the podcast going on, full bore, we're going to invite them back because, listen, I look at my feed, and every 3 or 4 days, or at least twice a month, I get something from these people. And it's something that should be educated, that everybody should know about, and especially if you're in that position, teacher or student. Okay, so this is Vincent. I'm signing off. Subscribe and like us. Till next time, this is Minister V. Hill.
One more thing, Vincent.
Yes, sir.
Our website is
our
website is gogateways.org.
Go.
There's enormous amount of information and resources for you there.
There you go. Okay, we'll see you next time.
God bless.
God bless. Man, that was pretty good. That was real good.